Gets into what we talk about gospel technology, which is this idea of using the media that you have at your available fingertips, whether it's tweeting or blogging or writing articles to your local newspaper or, word of mouth interactions at the water cooler, whatever it is that you do, using your voice as a witness to bear the truth of victims that the powerful want to extinguish, right? That's what gospel technology is. That's what all of us should be doing. We should all be in the media business, whether we've ever thought about media or not. If you're a plumber or you're a cook or you're a teacher, you are all part of the media business, and that is bearing witness to the truth of victims of scapegoating and sacrificial bloodshed. And that's exactly what we see. Always the same playbook, Jim, because, let's say you say, hey, I don't think that person who was using drugs should be locked up in a cage where they can't defend themselves from sexual assault. I don't think them getting high or whatever is worth using violence. I don't think it's going to make them stop doing it. I don't think it's going to help them. I don't think it's an ethical form of response to treat our neighbor that way because their mind was altered. So therefore, I don't think this is an appropriate use of that. The immediate response to try to cover up your use of the gospel technology to protect a victim of that wicked drug law is to say, you like drugs. You support debauchery. You are lawless. Instead of you saying, no, actually, I'm defending this innocent person. I don't think they should do the drugs, but that's exactly why I don't believe your method is the way to deal with it. Same thing with the war, right? If I talk about the victims of the Western Kiev government, who their government was hurting and attacking citizens in Odessa and the eastern side of Ukraine, killing kids in some cases, if we talk about their connection with the Azov battalion, neo-Nazis, the Tornado battalion, who was violently assaulting children as part of their tactics, if we say that, again, the voice of sacred violence comes out and says, you like Russia. And it's the same stupid playbook. I don't think the marijuana kid should go to a rape cage. You like marijuana. No, I don't. I don't think you should cover up the voices of the victims of Western Ukraine government. You like Russia. No, it's not. And we're not going to let them play this dialectical game. And that's where we have to kind of cut through the noise with this tactic.
Yeah, the hard part about so much of this is that, you brought up the drug analogy, said, okay, you're for debauchery. You take a character like Saddam Hussein, you take a character like Vladimir Putin. We're not, the response here pointing out that there is scapegoating going on does not mean necessarily that the person there is a good person, a virtuous person, that their acts are something that we want to applaud and reward. You can't actually say, listen, the approach that you're taking will only make matters worse. The approach that you're taking will end up unjustly or in heavy-handed fashion going way too far in who they punish, that there will be side effects and other problems and other fallout and other social things, and everybody's going to get caught up in the contagion. You can say all of those things. What you can't necessarily say is that these are good people. And this is hard because it seems like so often people would prefer two things. One, that everything be served up in black and white, and two, that somebody would tell them what is black and what is white so that they don't have to do the thinking for themselves. The idea that there's nuance to these things, the idea that things have to be thoroughly thought through, the idea that on the flip side of this gospel technology, you have to look for who is actually trying to stir up fear, who is actually setting up the scapegoat, and you have to look at what their motives are. And to me, this is the real battle, is that you have to be able to recognize that, and you have to come along with a solution that provides the grace that is necessary to lead to some kind of healing. Let's just pick one foreign policy example. Barack Obama leaves office, and he tries to impress upon Donald Trump that the most serious existential threat is a nuclear North Korea. We have a lot to be scared of from this particular crazy power, right? So Donald Trump says, you know what, I'm going to break this spell. I am not going to scapegoat the leader of this country, who, by the way, is a bad man. I'm going to go shake his hand. You know what, I don't get to choose who gets to be the leader of North Korea. but I'm going to go over and meet him and talk to him, and the problem seems to go away. Now this opens up the door for new possibilities, new ways of healing. And now what have we seen just in this week, just in the last 48 hours? We have begun to see North Korea relaunching its nuclear test for the first time since 2017. Once again, we're being drawn to the contagion. We're being drawn to scapegoat somebody. We're being drawn to blame, and we're being required to pick a side. And I would say in most of these cases, there is no side to pick except the right side. We don't have to side with Putin. We don't have to side with Ukraine. That's not what we should be siding for. We should be siding for peace. We should be siding for honesty. We should be siding for ending the practice of scapegoating so that some people can get what they want at the expense of other people.